What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Mental Misdeeds. I am Caleb Salvatore.
Here with Dre.
That was your cue. It was really delayed. It's like we're like a Fox News type thing where they're like taking like 3 seconds to
To
get the
get through.
there. That's just always been awkward as hell. Like even like work Zoom calls aren't that bad. Why are they so fucked up when
Right.
they do that? Does anyone know? Like seriously,
It's
like
a
somebody in the
ridiculous
comments.
delay.
Seriously, somebody in the comments tell me, why is there like that 5 second delay on those like cable news shows when your shitty office WebEx is better than that? So it sounds like they're getting ripped off. That's all I'm saying. But
Right. Like they're supposed to have the most up-to-date equipment and it's our shit's better somehow.
yeah, StreamYard. Who would have known? It costs what, like $250 a year? Who would have thought, right? Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, that brings us to the first. It's just us tonight. We don't have a guest lined up, so welcome
Well,
to the show, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we say is ladies and gentlemen because we don't believe in that non-binary shit here. But that's you wanted to bring up the first thing. What was it you sent me about? It was Josh Hawley, the senator. He introduced a bill. What was it? You know a little bit more about it than I do.
yeah, it was to have stiffer penalties federally across the board for pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
And he got what's his face
Dick
to
Durbin from
Dick
Illinois.
Durbin firmly objected, and it was just like, what? But why? I'm sorry, I have got to plug my computer and it's about to die.
No, you're good. You're good. I think there's a very obvious. You can talk. I'll talk while you plug that in. There's a very obvious reason why Washington insiders, Hollywood insiders, Silicon Valley insiders are so adamantly against laws that would crack down on pedophiles. And it's a big old elephant in the fucking room. And no one wants to talk about it because if you do, you get thrown in with QAnon when it's like, I really don't think it's a QAnon thing because I think there's a lot of merit to it. I think they may not be pedophiles, but we've learned most of them are sexual deviants to some degree.
Yeah, they're all connected. I mean, why haven't we gotten the Epstein Black Book released yet? Where are those names?
Because it
So
names
only
former
two people
presidents
were
in it.
responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no, two people were not responsible for the trafficking of hundreds of underage girls.
Yeah. Well, my question is, you see, once they busted Maxwell and she started singing like a canary, you started seeing a bunch of child trafficking busts all over the United States. So obviously this is a network, right?
Mm-hmm. But there was no big names involved. These were
No
just
one's been arrested. All they saved a bunch of kids. Who had them? They weren't staying there on their own accord. Who was keeping them there?
oh
No
shit! I
one's been
didn't realize.
arrested.
I thought maybe they just had the people that were in charge of those houses where those kids were being kept or whatever
And
arrested and
I'm
fuck
sure
those
they,
kids, throwing them under the bus because fuck them.
yeah, I'm sure they've got some patsy that's running the show that went down for the. Come on, we know that guy's not running that large of an operation. Give me a fucking break. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he runs that house.
Yeah, he runs the one location where it went down, and no, it's supposedly she's sang like a canary, but nobody got in trouble because I feel like the punishment for actually cracking down on these people would be stricter than the punishment for arresting them for what their actual crimes against humanity. But that's just me. I don't know. I I I just think it's super weird that at some point, don't know when that point was, but it was over the last couple of years, human trafficking doesn't exist became like an official platform of the Democratic Party. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that? Like
Yeah.
the modern left is the second you even consider for a second that human trafficking or child pornography or pedophiles even exist, you're labeled like a conspiracy theorist. Oh, well, you must be into QAnon. You must, it's like, wait, hold on. No, these are all real. But it's anytime that's even brought to the table, even when it's in a relevant context, it's dismissed as conspiracy theories. Sorry,
They dismiss anything as a conspiracy theory that is uncomfortable or that they don't want to talk about or maybe they're involved in predominantly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, where are all the names of all the people and why are all these people suddenly silent? These people that were, giving standing ovations to Harvey Weinstein and, what's the other one that fled to Europe that was screwing his stepdaughter or something?
What?
Yeah. Oh God, he's older. Polanski.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, like Meryl Streep got up and said, he was such an inspiration and he's such a great guy when she got some award.
Yeah, they all wanted the job. Yeah.
These are the people that, some people look up to, and the Democrats they're in bed together, and it's gross.
With Hollywood and Silicon Valley. Oh, yeah. Speaking of Silicon Valley, Elon Musk bought Twitter.
Yep.
Did you see that? What do you think about that?
That's pretty cool because he's Mr. Free Speech,
Yeah. He's a shit poster. It's like if I bought Twitter.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week because he's already like on the board. The president's like, yep, he's got decision-making authority now. He was happy to have him on board, which was shocking because I've heard that guy speak before and he's not happy about free speech.
No, he hates it. I hope he just bans Biden. And just want him to ban Biden from Twitter. That's all. He don't do anything else. Don't change anything else. Just show up and, you know what? If you're actively committing war crimes in Yemen, we're not going to allow you on our platform. And then make them answer to that.
So they would have to remove a lot of people. Like, what about like the Ayatollah's still on there? Isn't Putin still on there?
Yeah,
like
Putin's on there.
ISIS people are free to post whatever they like. Like it's free for fucking all.
The Taliban guy got banned.
Ooh, the Taliban guy. That one guy.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
No.
Oh, that was sarcastic. No, there was a guy from he was like one of the leaders of the Taliban. He got banned on there a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. I guess that's a start.
I guess that's a start. I mean, but all the other guys are probably fine to say, death to whoever every day, and they totally get away with it.
I follow some of those accounts on there because I think it's interesting. And I gotta say, man, when the Taliban guy talks, and then when I see people share like TikTok videos from public school teachers throughout the country, the Taliban guy seems a lot more reasonable. That's all
the sad state of affairs.
The Taliban guy is more reasonable than the average public school teacher in the United States in 2022. Is that a hot take for the day? I mean, if you take nothing else from this episode, take it that the current head of the Taliban is more reasonable than the average United States public school teacher. Take that to the bank. I said it. Fuck off. I don't have a problem. I don't care if you got a problem with it.
Well, you know what? At least that guy he'll say the same thing to anybody who asks.
Yeah.
He's not hiding anything from anybody. He's proud about who he is to anybody who asks.
Yep.
Some of these teachers, they say one thing to the kids, another thing to the parents.
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? Who do you think you are?
Well, it's all about grooming. That's the Taliban. I mean, they're at least open about their grooming. You know what I mean? Like they treat women terribly over there, but at least they're
and little boys, from what I hear.
That doesn't surprise me either. But so does the.
Well, there was that whole thing with the troops getting in trouble for trying to interfere with that cultural thing that they do over there with the Bacha boys.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it's all fucked up over there. I mean, they're also they hate gay people, but they're fine with molesting young boys. They're hypocrites over there too. I don't want to make it sound like I'm actually siding with the Taliban. Like relax.
That makes so much. The mental gymnastics they perform.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. And that's where you could circle back to is this bill in Florida that they're calling the Don't Say Gay bill that never uses the word gay. That's just what it's been mentioned as. And these people on the Oscars think they're so witty and creative and edgy saying gay. Dude, no, they're literally nowhere in the bill does it say that.
And that was so cringeworthy. I was like, oh God, stop. Ew. Let's make it stop.
It doesn't.
And I only saw the clip online.
Yeah, I don't watch the Oscars either. I just saw the clip, but that thankfully wasn't the most notable thing. It doesn't say it does not say in the bill. It's nothing to do with if someone says, why does Michelle have two mommies? You can't explain that. There's no one said you can't. The teacher can't say, hey, me and my husband went to a restaurant this weekend, or whatever, right? There's nowhere in the bill does it say that. The only thing it says is you can't teach gender identity to kids from K through third grade. Why the fuck would anyone have a problem with that wasn't a groomer? You know what I mean? That wasn't actively trying to groom your children. These people haven't even read the fucking bill. I have. It doesn't say anything about being gay. It doesn't say anything about talking about it. Now, you can't go into detail about gay sex, but you can't do that about straight sex.
And a couple of things that the bill also does include is everything needs to be disclosed to the parents.
Yes.
The parents have the right to see the kids' records. The parents have the right to know any changes in the kids' well-being or, anything.
Yes.
And again, we're talking K through 3. They should have that right.
You should know that.
Yeah, you should never be a hidden thing. If you go and ask for the records, they should be like, boom, here you go. Yep. That's right. Your kid. Here's the records.
It's your child. It's definitely. You can tell the goal is clearly to kick off a transition that would make the state owners of your child rather than you. You know what I mean? That's the goal, and it's actually how Mao brought one of the ways he issued communism into China. This is a lot of people don't know this. When the Chinese Communist Party was trying to take over, one of the things they did was in public schools, they would teach kids that gender was fluid. A lot of people don't realize this. They would teach kids that gender was fluid, and that way it would do two things. Number one, it would make the kids start to doubt the initial pillars of society that they had grown up around, their parents, their grandparents, their religion, their neighborhood, their community, and take that belief toward an authority figure and transition it over to the state. So now the state took the place of the parents, of the grandparents, of the religion, of the family, friends, of the neighborhood, of the community, because it was a teacher, a government authority figure saying it to them. So it did that. It created doubt and took away trust from the kids, right? Or took away trust from the parents and the initial institutions that the kids were once, brought up on. So that way the state comes in, and the state's now dad, the state's now God, the state's now mom. And now you have a bunch of people that it all started from gender fluidity, from teaching these kids that gender wasn't a real thing and you can be whatever you want. And if your parents say anything about that and try to dispute that, well, they're just bigots and you shouldn't pay attention. This is like this was the Mao Zedong era. This isn't a new concept. This is straight out of the communist playbook, and they're trying to institute it here in the United States. It's nothing new. It's worked in the past because people didn't fucking wake up to this bullshit. And look where the majority of this gender crap comes from is TikTok. Where's TikTok come from? Oh, the Chinese Communist Party.
And the fact that they want, kids to keep secrets. Isn't that the first thing that they used to teach kids? Like, remember when we were kids, we were taught about, good and bad touches for our own safety.
Yeah.
It was always tell an adult if somebody is inappropriately touching you or talking to you about things that make you uncomfortable. Now they're telling you to hide.
Yeah. Well, that was always, if an adult tells you don't tell mom and dad about this, that was always red flag right there. Bullshit flag. Throw that out right now. Like, what's going on here? Why are mom and dad not allowed to know about this? And now it's commonplace, and you're a bigot if you don't accept that people are grooming your children. That's don't. I'm sorry. I just, I went to public school. That was 10 years ago. That was a long time ago, right? I did too. I feel like parents in America now, you almost have a responsibility not to send your kids to government brainwashing institutions. And I feel like we beat this dead horse on here every week, but it's every week they give us something new to talk about. It's a new egregious fucking violation of parental trust, of civil rights, you name it. Yeah, it's every
kids'
week.
rights.
Yeah, every week it's something. They want to put masks on 2-year-olds in New York City. Give me a break. Every week it's something new. I'm not Catholic, but I would be more than happy to send my kids to Catholic school because I don't, I may not agree with everything the Catholics say in principle about religion and stuff, but I don't have to worry about a Catholic teacher telling my kid, sometimes a boy can be a girl. And if your mom and dad don't agree with that, well, then they're bigots. You know what I mean?
Right. And you might get removed from the home and we'll take care of you and transition you.
That's the next step, dude. It's all the great reset. That's it. That's all it is, man. It's all about getting people dependent on the state. Look at this big push with the gas prices going up. They're telling people that they can either buy an electric car, which no one could afford, because if we could, because that's first. Biden, if you buy an electric car, you'll save $80 a month in gas. Yeah, and my car payment triples. My electric bill quadruples.
I gotta get this don't you have to get a special plug installed in your garage to charge the thing every
Yeah.
night?
And your
How much
power
does that
bills,
thing cost?
your electric bill's insane. Yeah, plus there's the hookup, you know. So I mean, what are we really doing here? This is a net loss of hundreds of dollars. You know, this is just like them saying we brought back in record jobs this year. It's oh yeah, that's because you took everyone's jobs away. Of course they're going to come back. You know,
fucking
but
legends.
it really is. It's the great reset. The goal is to have total dependence on the state and their corporate sponsors, you know. So no one can BlackRock's buying up all these houses. They obviously don't care to stop it. No one can buy a home. Well, now you have to rent. So now you're dependent on them and their cronies, you know, with these massive corporations for a place to live. Another pandemic comes around. Well, they've set the precedent now that they can take your job away anytime they want, but they'll give you stimulus checks and raise your unemployment. So now you're dependent on them for money, right? They want to get rid of meat. They want to replace it with this Beyond Meat grown in a lab bullshit. Well, they replace it with that. Now you're dependent on them for your food because now they grow all the food. And the farmers and ranchers have been completely edged out because they're making all the food in labs. And if you think it's going to stop at meat and it won't go to vegetables and grains and stuff like that, I got a fucking bridge to sell you, you know? Which brings me to the last one, the big push for public transportation. Oh, gas prices are so high, take the bus. Well, they want to get rid of independence for transportation. So now you're completely dependent on the state for your method of transportation, and you have to wait at a bus stop to get to a place that's near the vicinity of where you want to go. It's bullshit. It's all by design. The fact that all of this shit is happening at the same fucking time is not a coincidence.
Yeah, but you're a big old conspiracy theory if you put two and two together. Like, gee, you know, just like we were talking about with the slap at the Oscars, the alopecia, sponsoring Oscars and being in the third phase. Like, I wonder if any of these things are connected in any way or shape or form. Like, we're not all stupid. Like, we can put these things together. It makes sense when you read all that, you know, when you're seeing the headlines one after the other, and they're all somebody's, you know, it's a trickle down. Oh, see, if this happens and this happens and this happens, and all this money is floating.
Yeah. You know, and it's shitty because I really don't know how this ends positively. It does. I mean, it seems like the Great Reset is what they're calling it. You can call it whatever you want, but it seems
they're
like
out and proud about it. That vampire man, Klaus Schwab. He is, you know, didn't he write a book and he's out there talking with speeches about the Great Reset?
He wrote a playbook for it.
Jesus Christ, they aren't even trying to hide it.
It seriously, I don't want to sound pessimistic, but I don't know how this ends positively for the average American or just the average human, because I mean, it's every politician that matters. Every major industry, every big corporation, every global figure, they're all in favor of it. They're all pushing for it. This is their end game. This is what they want. I don't see, unless things get really, really, really nasty, how this shit ends positively for us. And I mean, in that case, you're hoping that it ends positively for our grandchildren, because we'll be dead by the time that shit's over, you know? I don't know. I know I sound pessimistic like that, and I don't mean to come off that way, but
no, I get it though. I mean, they're in it for the money. You know, they're out there preaching about, you know, global warming and the climate, blah, blah. And they're out there buying hundreds of millions of dollar beachfront properties. Yeah. And
the ocean fronts are going to rise and flood the country. But here, look at my new beach home. Yeah,
it only costs $300 million. You know, I don't have any, you know, intention of, you know, setting down roots there.
Where does a public servant that's on like $125,000 a year salary get the money to buy a $1 million beach home?
Yeah, hundreds of millions. Like what? Yeah. Oh, that wouldn't be a little thing called insider trading now, would it?
Which trading, corruption. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Who bought that for you? You know, when you see like Al Gore, the guy that's all about environmentally friendly, that guy has a bigger carbon footprint in a day than I do in a year. When you just look at his house, he has this massive mansion that just sucks all the energy up, and there's no way he's able to power that on its own. And I'm not saying the climate doesn't change and that humans should be more responsible. environmentally. Obviously, you shouldn't throw your plastic on the ground and shit like that, and you should make an effort to recycle and don't go pour a can of oil into a lake or anything like that. But to think that we have this big macro effect that some guy leaving his stove light on at night is the reason why the seas are going to rise in 20 years and kill everybody. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's another fear tactic.
Or straws, or the amount of
yeah
please, or the amount of plastics that consumers use. Hospitals and Asia, India and China use more plastic and pollute more than we could do in 10 years in 1 year.
Absolutely. And there's no one's calling on them to do anything. No one's calling on change for them. It's all about the United States. We're the big bad guys in this until the world wants our help. And then President Zelensky goes on the Grammys and begs us to start World War III. Like, why?
On the Grammys?
Yeah, he did a speech on the Grammys. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. I don't understand. People want to talk about this guy like he's this great hero. I'm like, guys, like, yeah, is it great that he's stuck it out instead of taking the first chopper out of town like Biden would do? Yeah, of course. But let's listen to what he's saying. I know it's tough to get into the context of what people are saying nowadays. We just want to, put a little Facebook filter on our profile picture and call it good and say I'm helping. But let's take into context what this guy Zelensky is calling for. When he goes on the Grammys and begs for the United States to get involved militarily, he is on one of the largest platforms in the world asking for us to start a nuclear war. Like, that's what he's doing. When he asks for a no-fly zone, that means, do people understand? No-fly zone doesn't just mean, hey, don't you fly over there. It means if something flies over Ukraine, we scramble jets and shoot it down, which will start World War III, which will certainly go nuclear. Like, that's what this guy's calling for. This is your hero, is calling for us to start World War III and end the world. So, yeah, and I can sympathize where the guy's coming from. Because if I was in his position and I was outnumbered just getting shelled every day, I would want someone to come help me too. But let's not act like he's this great asset to the United States. This guy's going to lead us down a pathway of wreckage. President Zelensky is the United States' Jada Pinkett Smith. Don't go up and slap him, Will. Don't do it.
Jesus, Caleb.
We know he made fun of his hair. Come on, though. Let's pump the brakes.
Oh, God.
I couldn't imagine Joe Biden slapping Putin, though. That would be... Actually, that's probably how Joe Biden would fight.
Right? It would be so funny to watch, though, if he tried. That old senile fucker. Oh, I'm going to get you.
Yeah. That's what he probably pulled that on Corn Pop. He just need a chain and it'd be fine.
If he could lift the chain.
Yeah, dude, that's the problem now.
That guy's bones are probably so brittle.
Dude, I saw a video of Biden in the 2007 debate or 2008 debate against Sarah Palin, right? And let me tell you, this is 14 years ago, right? Let me tell you, that's a different man. It's a different man.
Yeah.
Everyone says,
he had his faculties.
You're just making fun of his stutter. No, dude, no, that's a different guy. He was sharper. He was smarter. He talked more smoothly. It wasn't all choppy and confused like a crazy old man that he is. It was very much, he was put together. He sounded like a polished politician, and he stuttered in the video, and he fucked up his words like everyone does when they're talking in the video.
Sure.
But he recovered so much more nicely instead of just going on
he didn't forget where he was in his speech. He stuttered and he was still all there.
Yeah.
Like, he was younger and oh God.
He was still old as shit. But it was so, and it's almost to a point where I feel bad for the guy because he's clearly being taken advantage of.
He is, and everybody in his camp and his family need to be held responsible for
if his wife,
this guy out there,
or his kids, or anyone. Well, obviously his son's cracked out of his mind, but if his wife gave a shit about him, she would step in and stop this nonsense.
No. And none of these marriages, these people care about each other at all.
No, none of them do.
Clout
The Clintons don't even sleep in the same house. Are you kidding me? Like, you think Melania was fucking Trump on a nightly basis? Come on. Come on.
Jesus. No.
Don't give me
Can you?
that.
Oh, don't give me that fucking mental image, God.
That's vomit inducing.
Exactly. No thanks, Caleb.
That's truly disgusting. What was the other article you sent me today?
Oh, I can't remember, but I was looking at a lot of the Hunter Biden
That's what
laptop
it was.
emails because now Obama's getting roped into it because this was under his White House administration while his VP was getting his son all these deals that were obviously, what do we say, illegal?
Yeah, illegal. Yeah,
all over
unethical.
all over
Felonies.
China and
Yeah.
Ukraine and Russia, on these boards that he had no business being on, getting millions and millions of dollars, talking about, we've all seen the video of Biden talking about getting the guy fired so that he could get his son in there. And it happened within a day. Like he demanded, or no, that wasn't getting his son in there. That was delivering them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get all these deals confused.
Yeah, all their corrupt backroom shady deals. It's hard to keep track of them. I don't blame you for it. If Eric Trump had gotten a job in Ukraine like that, doing nothing, making six figures, you would never hear they'd still be talking about it. That's all
right.
they'd be
Even if it
talking
was
about.
something that like he was like trained to do, like
Right.
some sort of business deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's all they. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading a comment. Did I hear Hunter Biden was sleeping with Malia Obama while she was underage? Saw the video in a Chinese anti-government site. No, I didn't see that, but I did, unfortunately, when it first came out, the Hunter Biden laptop, I can't remember what like underground black site it was on. I saw some of the video. It was fucking weird, to say the least.
I know he had a hooker problem on top of the crack.
Yeah, and a problem with his underage niece hanging out and barely clothed while he was barely clothed doing drugs. Like she was 13
Hunter
or 14.
Biden's niece?
Yes, of his deceased brother.
What the I know he fucked his deceased brother's wife after he died.
The niece was in the mix somehow. Fortunately, she was not in the video that I saw. It was a woman over 21. I am pretty sure she was a hooker. He had so he's walking around this fucking, I don't know, hotel suite or something. And he's got one video camera set up somewhere. And he's also taping himself with his cell phone. And you can see both simultaneously. And he's walking around naked, talking to this girl, and just casually masturbating.
What the fuck? That's crackhead behavior, though. Crackheads do shit like that all the time.
And he'll set the phone down for a second, smoke his crack pipe, and then pick the phone back. He sets the phone so that the phone's still recording him doing what he's doing. Can't miss a minute of that footage.
No. Not at all. No.
And he takes a couple hits off his crack pipe, gets up again, walks around, and I'm like, this is the oddest behavior I've ever seen.
It's crackhead behavior. That's all it is. There's plenty.
I guess I've never hung out with a crackhead.
I've never hung out with one voluntarily, but I've seen plenty of them.
I mean, I've seen them on the street. Yeah, I guess
I've interacted with plenty of them in my old line of work. But that was, I had, oh, fuck, dude. We were driving down L Street the other day. We were going to my great grandma's 90th birthday party. Young family, I know. But so we're driving down this street, or L Street, and clearly a crackhead, right? You know where the Satellite Motel is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Clearly a crackhead comes running out from the gas station across the street, just runs right in front of my car, puts his hand up, waving me on. I'm like, no, I'm not going to run you over. What do you do? I was laying on the horn and shit. I got nervous that it was one of those things where they'll stop your car and someone else will pull up real quick and try to rob you. Or I started going for my gun. I didn't know what the fuck was about to happen. And he just runs around the back of my car and he, of course, runs into the Satellite Motel real quick. So I used to think that hotel was cool growing up.
Oh, well, we used to they used to rent rooms if you were like 18, I think. So we would get seniors to rent rooms for us and party there when we were in high school.
Was it nice?
So no,
No,
but
I
it was
figured.
circular. So that was kind of cool. You know, your room was in a really weird shape because the whole thing is a big circle and like the office, I think, is in the middle. I never went near the fucking office. Didn't want to
Yeah.
be seen. But I drank many a beers in those hotel rooms.
Mia wanted to rent one there for a night just to see what it looked like. And I was like, I'm perfectly fine without bed bugs. I would rather keep it that way.
If you still have that urge, go walk through the lobby and see if you still do. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we live right by what used to, we've talked about the Carlisle. I mean, that's fucking worse than the Satellite. There's all kinds of seedy motels around Omaha. You know how it goes.
Yeah,
But,
there sure is.
and Hunter Biden's been at all of them. So
whenever he comes through town, he can't miss with
Hunter
with
Biden's at the fucking Carlisle motel. That would be no. They are spending $30,000 a month for a mansion to house him at, though. The Secret Services, and they blamed
$30,000 a month.
Yep, that's the rent. They blamed the housing market for it.
Oh,
Yep,
it wouldn't be the size of the house or anything like that.
Yeah, they couldn't find anything better. A $30,000 a month mansion was the closest thing. I mean, that was.
Where is this thing located? Do you know?
It's somewhere on the East Coast, I think. I didn't read exactly where. I did read where it was, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, Hunter Biden had.
Only the best.
What's that?
Only the best for that little crackhead.
Only the best for the crack. I mean, it's the world's nicest crack house. Okay.
Right? It probably is. He's probably turned it into, a crack den by now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
if
sure
he's got to be sequestered there for any amount of time.
They are not. The Secret Service is not getting that deposit back. We'll put it that way. Okay.
Hell no.
They're not getting it back on that. That money's gone. Okay.
I've been rewatching The Wire. They probably got carved out fucking mattresses for people to hide in.
Yep, most likely.
Even though cops are literally guarding them in case the cops come, they gotta have a hidey hole.
Yeah. How would that go? Like, what would the cops do if there was like a noise complaint at Hunter Biden's mansion? I mean, I'm just trying to.
Well, the Secret Service are always outside, so the Secret Service are just going to be like, "You can't do anything. Sorry, I'll tell the fucking idiot to try and calm down." But
yeah,
he's on the crack pipe, heavy.
Yeah. Does anyone actually believe that he's sober? That's the $1 million question. I don't think it. I don't know anyone that believes Hunter Biden is off the crack. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think that's probably something that you can just set down really easily. And you haven't heard of him taking any, sabbaticals for spas.
Yeah, no, he's not up to much. I mean, whereas Trump's kids and Obama's kids were always in the news. You don't hear too much about Hunter unless it's negative. It's not much going on.
They're in the news because, they go out in public and they're doing things like normal people. Obama's kids were going to school and doing things that they wanted to do, being Harvey Weinstein's, intern. Trump's kids all had careers. They're in the, walking around in public doing their fucking jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Or they were on his staff.
Right.
That too. But yeah, no, that's why, they've obviously told him to shut up and stay out of the public eye. And he's like, hey, that's fine with me. Just give me fucking crack. I mean, the CIA traffics how much crack into the inner cities every year. They probably just take it out of that.
Just break off a chunk. Yeah.
Yeah. Just call it good. That's I mean, now it would probably however much crack the CIA has shipped into Detroit in the last year and double it. That's what it'd take to get Hunter through a year. So, I mean, it's probably quite costly. But we are absolutely funding his drug habit, so people should remember that.
He's got quite the habit, and he likes to have friends over. So he's
underage friends, prostitutes, all kinds of.
And
look,
big consumers.
Yeah, and look, you fucking. I think Dre just froze up. Oh, she's back.
Am I still frozen?
No, you're good now. No, I mean, look, prostitutes. Do whatever you want. I don't give a flying fuck. As long as everyone's of age and it's not like a trafficking situation, I don't care.
Right.
It's same with drugs. But when the American taxpayers funding you doing that, that's kind of where
Mm-mm.
I run
Yeah,
into
you
a little
fund
bit
your
of
own
a
damn
problem.
party. I'm sorry. Everybody else has to fund their own party activities. Why are you special?
Yeah, that's yeah. I mean, I got to pay for my own crack, you know. God, I couldn't even. No, I couldn't bring myself to do crack. I'd have
Ew.
to. God, I can't imagine. I won't even take pain pills. You know, like fuck that shit. I can't imagine doing crack like the president's son. So
Nah. Pain pills have their place. It's after surgery. If you cut me open, I want a pain pill. But other than that, nah, no
so
thanks.
they've always been really careful with me because we have a family history of substance abuse.
That's
So
right.
they'll be very careful with what they give me after surgery. They'll give me, I remember after I got my wisdom teeth taken out, they gave me a very, very small amount of hydrocodone. And that was in the event that I got like a dry socket and it was like, I need to take this pain pill or I'm going to blow my head off pain. It's,
Oh God, no! You
they're,
need a pill after that surgery.
yeah, they're very, very, no, I don't fuck with pills because pills were, yeah, my family and pills don't do well. Specifically painkillers. I gutted through post wisdom teeth surgery with ibuprofen and water and ice, and that's how I made it through
You're a
that.
fucking trooper.
Yeah,
I'm missing a day. I think I got mine taken out on a Friday.
yeah.
I totally like Saturday is a no. I don't remember. Like my friends came visited me, told me
Yeah.
about it later. I'm like, you were there.
Well,
I was checked out for the weekend.
when my dad was a kid, he had an infected tooth that he didn't tell anyone about, and it got so bad that he had to go to the emergency dentist's office, and it was so swollen that they couldn't put Novocaine into it. So they did an entire root canal with no pain medication. He felt
Oh
the
my
entire
god,
thing.
those
Yeah,
things are awful when you have Novocaine.
when you
I've
have
had
Novocaine.
several.
I've never had one. I have had teeth pulled to avoid getting Novocaine or to avoid getting a root canal. Like that, I can't imagine having to do the entire surgery. Oh
Oh my
God.
God, that's terrible. Root canals are awful when your mouth is fully anesthetized. I've never been put down for one. I do the happy gas every time, but it's still not enough, honestly.
Yeah. No, it's so weird because I've had teeth pulled. I had a tooth, so I have a small mouth, which is ironic considering I never shut the fuck up. But I have a smaller mouth, and I had three of my four wisdom teeth actually came all the way through my gums. And what happened was they pushed the teeth in. They caved some of the molars in, which caused molars on the top side or each of the top sides of my mouth to get infected. So they had to pull them out. And I was broke as fuck. I couldn't afford a root canal. I was like 19. I was being told, it's a $3,000 root canal for something that we may not even be able, and I didn't have insurance for something that we may not even be able to save. Like that we may be back here pulling it in a year. So I was like, fuck it, pull the fucking thing. I'm not going to do with that. So they yanked it. And I've got to say, I'm going to get bridges put in now that I'm more stable. But they yanked it, and I remember it didn't hurt, but the sensation is still there because I don't know if you've ever had a tooth pulled. It's
Mm-hmm.
still as far as modern medicine
You
as it
feel
has advanced in the last 150 years, it's still a barbaric process. It's literally they stick pliers in your mouth and they just yank until it comes out. And you can shoot me up with whatever the hell you want. That will never be a pleasant experience.
no, you feel the pressure of the pull,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like it's not painful, but it is.
Yeah.
It's
The
a fucking
sensation.
weird sensation.
It hurts
Yeah.
like hell when it's done, when the medicine's worn off.
Yep. And
But
the same with like a root canal. Like you feel them. What they're doing is they are taking tiny little drills and drilling into your mouth, into a tooth to get, I think it's infected fluid to come out.
mhm,
And then they have to, or roots, their root canal. They're taking infected roots out. So they're drilling tiny little holes into a tooth, typically a molar if you're lucky,
yeah.
and pulling those roots out or killing them or whatever. I don't know what they do, but they're drilling little tiny holes, and it is a long, tedious process that is so so terrible. I don't wish it on anybody, but so take care of your teeth.
Dude,
See your
there's
dentist regularly, you know.
truly no pain like tooth pain. It's
Yeah,
something like I've
it's
broken
awful.
limbs, I've got whiplash from a car accident that's probably never going to go away. I've got all kinds of shit. But I've had all kinds of shit happen to me. But far and away the worst has been tooth pain.
Yes.
I've had fingers snap out of place and shit like that. Tooth pain beats it all. It really, because all that shit. Look, I can go to the chiropractor and get my neck worked on, and that'll be temporary relief. I can, if you break your arm, you can put ice on it. You can take ibuprofen. But fuck, man, nothing works for your tooth hurting. Like I had a friend who had a really bad infected tooth and couldn't afford a root canal because he didn't have insurance. He was working as a tattoo artist, and he was telling me, he was like a brand new tattoo artist at the time, and he was telling me, he's like, dude, I would sleep in a fetal position on the floor. He got a hold of some like experimental drugs for cancer patients to like offset the side effects of chemotherapy, and he was shoving them up into the hole in his tooth trying to treat it. Yeah, just don't fuck with your teeth. Just leave them be.
Just take care of them. See your dentist on a regular basis. It's not that expensive. You can spend $100 a pop to go get a cleaning. You do it twice a year. It's $200 a year.
Most insurance is free. Like,
well, if
gives
you
me
don't
like 2 or
have
3 free ones a year.
insurance,
Yeah, even if you don't have it, yeah,
it's about $100. It's less than it's like $90 for a cleaning at a a very nice West Omaha dental office that's private, and you have to pay expensive insurance to go there. That's when I always went. He charges like $90 if you don't have insurance. That's like cash price. So if you go to one of these, Summit Dental or whatever, that's like a chain, they'll take you without insurance. It'll probably be $75 to get your teeth cleaned and a little checkup.
And that's how they catch shit. Just like anything else, that's how they catch shit before it gets too bad.
Right. And your oral health can have an effect on the rest of your body in a big way. So if something's going wrong in here, it can affect your body. And so
ask Hunter Biden.
This is easy. Yeah. If your teeth start rotting, it's going to affect the innards of your body. So get that shit checked.
Yeah. You can die from an infected tooth. That's no secret. That can happen. And that is one of the worst ways to die. Because that goes from your tooth to your gum to your bone. And having a fucking infection in your bones is one of the most miserable ways to go. Why are you looking at me like that?
Yeah, of course. Can they even do anything for an infection in your bone? Like,
I'm sure they can, but I'm sure it sucks just as bad, but not as bad.
Right, because it sounds like there'll be bone drilling involved, whether it's medication or fixing it in some way, right?
Yeah, I would imagine it'd be something to do with that. But yeah, that shit just makes me squeamish. Oh God, I got my blood.
What?
I said I got my blood drawn today, and that was about enough. So.
No, so do you watch when they take it, or?
Oh God, no. My favorite thing is when I roll my sleeves up for them and they see my tattoos, and I'm like, I look away because I'm scared of needles. And I'm like, that's just
they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
No, the nurse I had, because it was just like a biometric screening I get yearly just to make sure I'm not pre-diabetic or dying kind of thing. But the nurse was like, "Yeah, no, there's a big difference between tattoo needles and blood drawn needles, which is 100% a fact. It's not even close to the same thing."
Oh God.
Not even close to the same thing. I'll take a tattoo needle all day before I do 10 minutes of a fucking blood drawn needle.
A blood draw takes like what, a minute to 2 minutes? Maybe a tattoo takes hours sometimes.
No, not if you're me. I have throughout my life, I have never had like veins that pop out. They've always had to look for them, and like they'll fuck up on one arm and they'll have to go to the other one. Like I broke my arm.
Throughout all of this, you haven't figured out which vein is best. Are you kidding?
No, never have. Probably never will. I just wish they'd prick my finger, man. I don't know. I think that would be
that most of all.
We got
that
really
shit
fucking
hurts for days.
We got really, really trailed off.
Oh yeah.
So have you seen this new guy that's been going to city council meetings throughout the country?
Are you talking about Alex Stein 99?
Primetime 99 Alex Stein?
Yes, So, I love him. I love it. I love it.
For those of you that don't know, he was on one of those. It's not The Bachelor. It's like a ripoff of The Bachelor. He was like the douchebag, the bad guy. Like at the show Love Is Blind, he was their Shake. I don't know if someone.
He was on Love Is Blind.
No. If he was on Love Is Blind, because Mia watches it, and there's some guy on it named Shake. That's just a huge. He's my favorite character. I watch the guy. I think he's phenomenal. I think he should have his own show. But, he was on one of those dating shows years and years ago, and he was the douchebag guy. He called himself by his high school football name. Well, now he goes around to city councils to mock the U.S. government. Just the whole process of American politics and government, and it is quite the sight. Will you pull that up for us? It should be on the YouTube tab. Make sure it starts out. Yeah. No, not yet. You got to pull it up though.
This guy is great.
Go down to share at the bottom. Share screen. There you go. Yep. Go ahead. Yep.
And we do have some speakers this evening. The first one is Alex Stein.
Here we go.
Hello, Council. My name is Primetime 99 Alex Stein, and I have a little presentation for you today. I have a little audio accompaniment, but I want to take a moment to think about the people of Ukraine and what they're going through. So I prepared a little song for them. Let me turn this on.
This is the
I really
best.
Want to try to help the people out there.
Oh, I think I've seen this.
So let me just get it going.
He just goes to city
Call me
council meetings and acts like a
Alex Stein.
spaz.
Hope you guys like my flavor.
Oh, yes, I have seen it. My flavor. I love it. Go, Alex.
Prime time 99 on the grind all the time. Go insane for Ukraine. A bullet in Putin's brain. I'm time, always on the grind, always gotta shine. And you know it's no lie.
My best friend.
What? Oh, excuse me. Come on,
Ad
audio.
pops up.
Where are we going? Now we're going. Now we're cooking, guys. I got it turned down a little bit. It's prime time. Let's start that one more time, guys. Come on in the audience. Let's vibe tonight. It's prime time. Officer, you know I'm on the grind. You know gas prices are way too high. Putin's got to die. Put a bullet in Putin's head. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm a freak for the vaccine. Vaccinate my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi. I'm the proof when I'm in the booth. Spitting on the mic. It's anti-vax. Putin hates all of them blacks. Putin is a bad racist. Put him in the ground, white or brown. And I'm in plain old town. And you know you just got found. I'm a pimp on a blimp. Unless a steak is shrimp. No, you can't stop my shine. I'm number 99. And you know I grind and shine. And you know I do it all the time. One more time, I'm teaching class. This is your whole path. Zelensky is a VIP.
He is getting down with it.
And I go insane. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. You know that is the plan. I'm a Zelensky stan. I love you, Vladimir Zelensky. You are so smart. What's the smell? Did somebody fart? No, what can you say? Vaccinate me straight or gay. I love you, and I love to rhyme and grind all the time. And you got that sanitizer. And you know I got that Pfizer. You know I stick it in my vein. Put a bullet in Putin's brain. Do it for the Ukraine. Before I go insane, let me antibacterial my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi. You know the flow. And I am a pimp. Because I am on the blimp.
He owns a blimp.
In lots of steak and shrimp. One more time, I'm 99. And you know I grind and shine. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir Putin needs to die. Gas prices way too high. Vladimir needs to die. I'm the truth in the booth. Take my picture. I'm a winner. I'm going to eat you for dinner. Okay.
All right.
I just want to say,
Yeah.
I love you. We need to take out Vladimir Putin.
Oh, God. So if we have time to do another one, look up the one where he's advocating for his daughter who identifies as, what? Is it a lizard?
Oh.
And how they need to have a terrarium in her classroom.
Oh fuck! I would have pulled that one up because it's all YouTube's like since he blew up, YouTube's like fucked with his algorithm. She can try and pull it up if she can find it here.
So yeah, we have questions in the comments. The scientific libertarian is apparently not familiar at all with him. He is totally fucking a troll. He's a huge
it's
troll.
not real. No, he goes to city council meetings and acts like a spaz just to mock it and waste their time. There's the one that went viral first, actually. He went to the Hawaii Honolulu City Council and he was talking about how he was on they were talking about rebuilding about fixing a road. And he was going on about how he was on his honeymoon with his wife and his wife he hit a boulder. And when they called the cops, he had been drinking. So he got a DUI, and his wife was trying to find a lawyer in a tow truck. She wound up going back, having an affair with the tow truck driver, and this was all their fault. He's like, you guys are a bunch of dumb Hawaiians. You can't even fix the fucking road. I think she found it, though. You got it? I'll make sure you share the screen first, though. Yeah, this is the my daughter is a wizard one.
No, it was not a mental health crisis. This dude's hilarious.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi. So, my name's Alex Stein. I live at 69 Waverly.
I'm sorry. What was your last name?
Stein, Stein.
Okay, thank you.
And the reason why I'm calling in, I just saw another district now is providing litter boxes for a student that identifies as a cat. And my daughter, Lily, identifies as a lizard. And everybody's getting so mad because I want to put a terrarium in the classroom. They look at me like I'm crazy. I understand we're not going to put the temperature at 85 degrees. Like the other students would not like that. But a small accommodation like a terrarium for my daughter would be very simple, very simple thing to do. When you look at other districts that are, Joy, think about what we do for the special level.
Excuse me, Mr. Stein. Excuse me.
Yes?
If you have an individual request for your child, that's something that you could call the school or the superintendent with.
It's a district request because I shouldn't have to. The whole district should accommodate her because it's teachers. It's a lot of people won't even respect her what she identifies as. It's a whole district issue.
I haven't seen this one.
Do you see what I'm saying? It's not an individual thing. It's a whole issue with the district.
They don't want to hear it.
No.
Keep redirecting him.
I try to tell her not to. It's the worst thing ever.
Mr. Stein,
I
will have Dr. Villanueva will reach out to you.
It's the problem though. When you guys don't support it, you won't put the terrarium in there. The more you kick back with a young girl like that, you know she's going to kick back even harder. And that's the problem. That's why on the district. Listen,
Okay.
I get it. The teacher, we're not going to put the temperature at 85 degrees in the room.
Thank you.
But just a simple glass box for her.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. And Dr. Villanueva will reach out to you for that.
Simple glass
Thank you.
box.
Confidentiality. I'll reach out to you individually. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, it's
They
got
are
a
not gonna follow up.
Is there
with
anyone
him.
else from the virtual audience that would like to address the board this evening?
Yeah, they are not going to follow up with him. Not a fucking chance. But no, they're.
But do yourself a favor and look this guy up. It's hilarious.
It's great. Look up the one he had. He went to it's either Denver or Boulder, somewhere in Colorado. He went and complained about how. Oh, you don't have to play. We've played enough of them. I was just telling other people that think so. He was talking about how he was complaining that the city of Denver or Boulder or wherever they were wouldn't fire this public works employee who had been fucking his wife on the job. I see it on my ring cam every time, and I haven't been able to get it up. He's like, and I haven't been able to get it up since I got the booster shot. And then he just starts breaking down, crying on the city council floor. It's fucking hilarious. It's a great show. He was on Tucker Carlson the other day. He's been on Alex Jones. I mean, he's done a great job.
Is he the guy that got famous calling in? No. That was somebody else. Never mind.
Famous for what?
I think for calling in and he kept every single serious one of those call-in shows where we're gonna take calls from the
C-SPAN.
viewers and C-SPAN. Yeah, did he get famous from calling in there, or was
No.
that some other dude?
No. Howard Stern used to have his listeners prank call C-SPAN as a joke, so they would be doing they would have their regular political talk show thing, and all of a sudden they'd get a call asking, so how do you feel about Howard Stern's penis? And they'd block it. So they would just get flooded. My favorite C-SPAN. What's that?
Oh, go ahead.
No, my favorite C-SPAN call was they got, because it was all live. There was no delay on C-SPAN because they didn't have the money for it. So the guy calls in. He's like, hey, am I on the air? He goes, yeah, go ahead. He just goes, fuck. And they cut him off. That was the best.
No, there was a dude who I want to say it was Alex Stein. Maybe it wasn't C-SPAN, the call-in show. Maybe it was one where he would do fake reports. He would act like a fake reporter and be on with these like ridiculous stories, and they would put him on the air. I want to say it was him.
Maybe
I'll
it
have
was
to look
him.
it up.
I don't know.
And then he'd be like, "Are you stupid? I'm Alex Stein 99. I'm a, what do you call it? A troll or whatever he called himself at the time, a satirist."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh shit," and they'd cut it off and they'd go to somebody else, or move on or go to commercial. But I'm pretty sure it was him. He would get on live and they would take him seriously as an on the ground guy of some sort. Either he was there and saw it, or he was an on the ground reporter from somewhere else.
That's great. That's what David Hogg does now, so it's but no, that was I used to love watching those YouTube videos of the people that would call and abuse the public access hosts. Those people deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. I remember there was one guy was having a debate on gun control in New York. He was having his callers call in to talk about it. And the guy goes, "Hi, Jim," or whatever his name was. "I think it's great that New Yorkers can have guns so they can shoot people like you." Just hung up. Those shows were great, man.
Click.
Yep.
Oh,
click.
That's great.
You could tell at C-SPAN when they were getting impatient because he'd have his hand on the buzzer right away.
Just ready to go. Just ready to end this shit.
Yep.
Before I get too embarrassed.
All right. Well, we better wrap it up here. We just did like an hour. I've got a lot of editing shit to do here in a short amount of time.
And I think that my battery is about to die. So luckily we got through the whole hour. That's kind of cool.
Fuck yeah. North Platte, come and see us.
Yep, we'll be there next weekend, all weekend.
Yep. Nebraska Libertarian Convention. I will be doing a comedy show that night, Peg Leg Brewing. Come through. It'll be
Saturday.
Fun. Yep, Saturday night. Saturday night at 8. 8
o'clock? Okay.
Yep. Don't be getting no ideas from Will Smith either. Because I ain't Chris Rock. I'll throw down. We can do that shit any day. No, I'm not worried. No one's going to hit a comedian. I'm not worried about it. So, but,
I'm not either, but we're ready.
No, I'm ready. I've been boxing and shit. Yeah, hell yeah. But all right, well, that's it. This has been Mental Misdeeds. Thank you guys so fucking much. Make sure to go to taxationistheft.info, nugofknowledge.com. You know the drill. Yep, to double G's. Follow me on TikTok at Caleb Salvatore Comedy. Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me on all that shit. Yeah, go ahead and plug it up there.
There we go.
Yeah, follow me on all that shit. I'm finally unbanned from TikTok. I was saying too many
What
true
did you
statements.
say?
I got in trouble. I didn't even get in trouble for
Put Dan's stuff up, please. What did you say?
Repeated violations of their hate speech rules. They didn't tell me what I specifically did, but I have some ideas. I had some comments where I love TikTok. I've actually gotten a very a niche following, but it's big enough to where people are now just beginning to accuse me of outrageous things. Like this guy said that I said that I believe women who are raped should be forced to carry a baby to term. Never said anything remotely close to that. But I told him, dude, I'm pro-choice. How could I not be when people like you make the existence of people like you make such a compelling argument for it? Then that was the big one that got me suspended because I told him he was a advertisement for abortion. But you got anything you want to plug? We got to get going here.
Nope. Here's where I am. If you want to catch me, I will be at the Libertarian National Convention. I'm not going to that state convention next weekend, and I will be at the Comedy and Chaos show. Absolutely. Saturday night, 8 o'clock. I'm sure the doors are at 7. It is a free show, right, Caleb?
Yes, April 9th. It's free. So
awesome. So yeah, we will be there. That will be a fun time. And you guys have a great week. We'll see you next week. Next
Peace out,
Tuesday.
y'all.